Hey, and welcome to Homeschool-ology. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Niki. I'm a homeschooling mom of 4. I've got a middle schooler all the way down to a preschooler. And on this channel I talk about secular homeschooling, motherhood, family travel, and everything in between. So today's video, I'm going to be showing you our homeschool space. Today's video is a collaboration with Davene from Calm in the Chaos and Shauna from Homegrown Homeschool. And I hope you guys will check out their channels when you're done watching this video. I've linked them down below in the description, and I've also linked the playlist. I'll link it up here and in the description for this collaboration. And I hope you guys will go check out all the great moms that are sharing their homeschool spaces with you today. Their homeschool spaces might be a room, their homeschool spaces might be places around the home, but they're going to share those with you. So head on down, check out that playlist, and check them out. Today I'm going to be sharing my homeschool room, and this is about maybe 7 or 8 months ago, I actually created a homeschool room in my home for the first time ever. We have never had a homeschool room before this, and my daughter is going into the 7th grade. So we didn't actually get a homeschool room until she was a 6th grader. So you don't need a formal homeschool room, a formal homeschool space. I can kind of show you what we did before, but our lives, we're spending a lot of homeschool time, we're doing a lot of homeschool things, we're adding more children to our homeschool, and it was getting, we were outgrowing the system that I had before, and I thought, you know what, it's just time for me to I was tired of, I had like 3 different places where my things were. I'll show those to you, but I was just tired of, is it over here, is it over there? I was starting to buy things that I didn't, or that I already had that I didn't need because I wasn't sure, like I would find it somewhere I didn't know where it was, and I just was tired of all of that. And I told my husband, I need all my homeschool stuff in one space. I'm tired of hunting around for it and trying to find quiet spaces to do things and all that jazz. So I decided to go ahead and turn our dining room into a homeschool room. We used to entertain a lot before COVID, before all that. We used to entertain a lot, but since that time we don't really do that anymore. That's not the phase of life that we're in anymore. And I decided, you know what, this room was really a room that the kids did Legos in. That was kind of it. And so I thought, let's, utilize that space and more effectively for our family, and changed my dining room into a homeschool room. And that's the room I'm actually in right now. And so I'm going to show you that as well. We revamped our playroom. I'm not going to show you that today because it's a hot mess, and maybe I'll give you a peek in there because it's real life in there. But we are fixing it up. We're not done in there yet. We're still in the process of fixing it up, so things are kind of all over the place right now. But we revamped it so that the Legos station could actually move into there. We got them a fold-out table, and so now we have a dedicated homeschool space. So it's a little unfinished. It's not quite. What do you need, baby?
Okay.
And that's a hair tie. You gonna put her hair in her ponytail?
It's not the big hair. It's the ear.
It's her hair.
That's the hair blue.
So it's not quite finished yet. We actually had to get another bookshelf because it wasn't quite enough space. So we just added that. We moved, these bookshelves were in my playroom and held all their toys. And so we moved them in here to be homeschool storage, and got something new for the playroom. So we did end up having to add another bookshelf that went down there. So things are not quite exactly, I haven't lived in it yet. We just added that in literally like a day ago. So I haven't lived in the space yet. I don't know exactly how we're going to make it work, but I'm going to show you what our homeschool room is right now. What does it look like right now? How are we functioning in it right now? And I will give you a little peek at how I used to do homeschool. Again, those spaces are not going to be clean, but I'll show them to you anyway. So I'm going to switch to my other camera and give you guys a little tour around, but before I do that, don't forget to head on down and subscribe to this channel, ring that notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Okay, so this is our homeschool space that we have now. And this is our old dining room. We did change out the chandelier for a ceiling fan and a brighter light. The chandelier had been in this home since we bought it. This home is over almost 40 years old. So it was just time for a change anyways. We decided to go ahead and put a ceiling fan in here with a much brighter light. And so that was one of the changes we made. And then the rest of the room, we just basically took everything off the shelves. That's my kitchen in there. And this wall, I have a big map that was in our playroom, but I was going to put that there. I think I changed my mind. I think I want this wall to be a place where we can like display artwork and, you know, things that kind of go along with what we are learning about. So I think that's what I'm going to do on this wall here, but obviously I haven't done anything yet. Over here, this is my playroom. Over here, as you can see, it's a disaster, but over here we have some extra chairs. My kiddos use these when they do the Lego station in the playroom, and that's kind of just what this corner is right now. I do have more wall space over here. I'm thinking on this little wall here, I want to get a map where we can pin like locations we have gone to, because we do love to travel, so I think that would be fun to be in here. And then we have this nice, wonderful window. This is where I do a lot of my filming, so that's all set up for that. But over here is my wall of homeschool stuff. So this window is going to be coming down. I'm going to move it to the other side of that wall. I just haven't done that yet. Like I said, this bookshelf right here, we just added in literally, like, we put it together 2 days ago, or like 2 nights ago. And yesterday's I was putting everything together. So this is not exactly how it's going to be, but this was our only bookshelf that we had, and it's only those shelves that you can see, and so we ran out of space. So we needed to get another space where we could, this basket down here is where we keep our library books, the books that come home from the library, in our bags so we can take them to and from the library. This is where my homeschool cart lives. This is what I'm in the process of trying to figure out. I got new magazine organizers. I'll show you these ones because they're empty. I found these really wide ones at Staples. Unfortunately, they were on clearance, so I don't think they have them anymore. But these are amazing. This is how we do all of our homeschool curriculum. And these ones are nice, sturdy, hard plastic, so they are not going to fall apart like the paper ones. So that is what we use to store our, like, you know, curriculum and notebooks in, and then if they need to, they can just grab it off of here and take it wherever they're gonna go, and then it can just slide back in and things aren't falling over and all that. So these 2 bins right here are for my new kiddos that are gonna start doing school, my 2 little ones, and then this is stuff that like doesn't fit in the bins, so this is kind of like our curriculum corner. Right now I have my teacher manuals here and my oldest daughter's materials here, and then these are like our read aloud books and books we're using for things like that, and then we have like calculators and blocks and stuff for science. That's how we've been using this cart. Now that my older daughter is doing more schoolwork, her bin is much bigger and I can't fit mine and hers and my middle daughter's on this cart anymore. So I'm thinking about getting a second cart because I could turn them this way and have 2 of them. One for me and my older daughter and one for my little, you know, my younger 3. But I'm not sure. I haven't decided exactly what I want to do yet. So that is probably going to change at some point. These are the 3 cabinets that used to be in my playroom, so they're a little more beaten up than the nice new one. But I will kind of give you a look inside these cabinets. So this one is my mostly bookshelf. These books up here came from my husband's grandparents, so there were some really old books there. So I have those up there in the cabinet to keep them from getting messed with and dust and things like that. And then here's Our Life of Fred, and then these are like resource books and just the shorter books, and then these are the taller books that we have. We have a lot of Usborne books and a lot of like resource books here, and then these books right here. My kiddos have their own bookshelf in their room, so that is where all their like regular books are, but these are like books that my daughter wasn't interested in but I want to do as read alouds with my other kiddos, and just like read aloud books and book series and things that I've moved down here now that we have a little bit more space, books that we're going to access more often. This here is coloring books, and then like old workbooks or things that they can just pull out if they want something to do. This is our Osmo. If you don't know about Osmo, it's amazing. If you let me guys know if you want to see a video on the Osmo, and I will make that for you. We have snap circuits here, a second set of blocks, which that's going to move. I'm going to get another toolbox and put that in there so that we have 2 sets. And then that's just like extra stuff down there. And then over in the next cabinet, this is kind of like our office supply cabinet. So up here I have curriculum that's not being used right now, that I may or may not use soon. And then this is just a bin of like old stuff that I've saved for later, like old worksheets and things like that when we circle back to some of those activities, some extra binders and books. This is all office supplies. So like rubber bands, staples, post-it notes, tape, all that good stuff here. That's all office supplies. This row is our pens and pencils and markers and stuff. And oh my gosh, I didn't realize how many we had until we put them all in one spot. And it's just way more than we could ever need. So note to self, don't buy markers and pens and pencils for a very long time. But here is some like other just like index cards and stickers and things like that. Just things that you have with kids. Long paper, rulers, and then here is all my paper storage. And then things like, you know, just normal like office supply things. And down here I have my textbooks from when I was a teacher, and just extra folders, extra binders. The kids' travel binders live down there. So that is what is in this cabinet. It's kind of like our office supply cabinet. And then over here, because it was the playroom, I had all these bins. So they've stayed as bins, but they have things like our science stuff and watercolors and stamps and oh, this is like extra notebooks and empty storybooks, things for them to write in. And then I have like a spirograph. This is just kind of like things for them to do. And then this one is busy bag type stuff. And then the bottom 3 are just like that one's for my oldest, my middle, and then my little kiddos have that basket down there. Those are just for, you know, it's just their things. I have whiteboards here. This is clipboards and the handwriting without tears wood pieces that my little kiddos use. We have, y'all know, I have a love affair with the Epson EcoTank printer. So that's there. This drawer contains all of our like computer mouses and computer stuff. Then I have wipes and tissues, because when you have kids, you need wipes and tissues. These are like the tall books that don't fit on my other. And then this stuff is the science stuff for next year. I need to bind these, and they'll go back over into the curriculum, but kind of keeping all my science stuff together for next year. This is just a storage bin. Honestly, I don't even remember what's in it. Extra notebooks. You know, because why doesn't everybody have a toilet paper roll on their bookshelf? A picture my son did, our microscopes back there. And then up here, I have these metal bins. And obviously, I don't have enough for this one over here because we added a shelf. So I'm probably going to be changing these bins out. But right now, they're holding stuff. So this bin number 1 is our like tempera paint and painting stuff. Bin number 2 is like craft supplies. You can see the popsicle sticks hanging out there. So like all kinds of craft supplies, you know, coffee filters, pom-poms, craft sticks, all that kind of stuff. Bin 3 is our science stuff. Like, so, you know, extra glue and you know, like slime supplies. My kid loves slime. So slime supplies and food coloring and baking soda and things like that is all in there. Bin number 4 is more science supply stuff, you know, like test tubes and things like that. Bin number 5 is all our science kits that we have not finished yet, ones that we are still working on. And bin number 6 is where I put all of my kiddos' things that we're going to keep for their portfolios. So it's all like finished notebooks, artwork pieces, worksheets, things that they've created, all of that goes in this bin, and then when it's time for a portfolio, I'll pull that bin down and organize it all. I wish I could be more organized during the year, but this is just a system that works for me. So that's the bin that I just throw it all in and deal with it later. So that is our homeschool space. And so with the addition of the shelf, I have more room for more books to come in because we're in that phase of homeschool where you're just adding books all the time. And I have 4 kiddos, so we have 4 age ranges of books here. You know, I've created this little shelf here for my youngest daughter where she can pull off those books and look at them. So that is my homeschool space. Oh, I forgot this table. Now, I don't know if this table is staying. I keep going back and forth. This table is made from wood from an old building. It's heart pine, and the building was used as a schoolhouse. And so I just thought that was so fun that the wood that is our table was a schoolhouse once upon a time, and now it is used for our school and our home. And so I just love the history of that, and I do love this table very much. But the practicality of it in this room, you know, it was our dining room table, and now it's our homeschool room table. So I keep going back and forth on being able to have something that I can, you know, fold up and kind of shove against the wall and have more open space in here, or keeping the table and just having it function the way it functions now. So this is our homeschool room. We are loving it. This is our old homeschool space, and so this is my kitchenette table. So my kitchen's over there. Our TV room is this room over here. So this is where we did our homeschool. But as you can see, it's not very conducive to having a lot of kids around this table. It worked fine enough when it was just my 2 daughters and I. It worked well enough for that. But this is also the table that we eat at. And so we were having to make sure everything was cleaned up every time, you know, for lunch, and everything had to be cleaned up again for dinner. And so it was just added more work to my life. Over here is where some of my homeschool stuff was. That bookshelf was there, and there was another little bookshelf here that I've moved. This needs to move, obviously, because it's a catch-all right now. Hold on one second, I have to let the dog out. But this is where things like my printer and some paper and some books, you know, the extra books in our curriculum use, our little homeschool cart lived there. So this was kind of one spot where our homeschool stuff was. And then just directly behind me, this cabinet here is an old cabinet that we found, that we thrifted. So this was like my main like homeschool storage cabinet. And then our third location was outside in the garage over here. So I'm going to take you out there. This was the third location that our homeschool stuff was in. This was our art and craft supply closet. So now it's full of other stuff now. So we had 3 separate spaces. I'm going to hop inside now. It's hot out here in the garage. So we had 3 separate spaces, and it just really was not working for me. Stuff was everywhere. I couldn't find things that I needed. The cabinets, kind of like the ones behind the table, were just a mess all of the time. And then having to clean off that table over and over again just was not working for us as a family. So that's why we decided to make our other table that wasn't used as often, our homeschool table. And that is our homeschool spaces and how they used to work for us and how they work for us now. I hope that was helpful for you guys. And I'm going to jump back over to the outro. So I hope you enjoyed kind of that peek inside of our homeschool room and what it is like. Like I said, it's a work in progress. We're, you know, getting it to you know, finalized. There's nothing on the walls yet and all that fun stuff, but it is our space. It is working. We've been doing it now. We've been using this space now for about like 5 or 6 months, I think, and it has been working so well. I'm so happy with it. What we had before worked, but this is better. Do you need a homeschool room? No, you don't. You can homeschool without a homeschool room. Is it nice to have a homeschool room? Yes, it is. So that is what I have for you guys today. Don't forget to head on down and check out the playlist and all the moms that are sharing their homeschool spaces with you today. And don't forget to check out Davene at Calm in the Chaos and Shauna at Homegrown Homeschool. Check out their channels. They share a wealth of information. So that is all I have for you guys today.